Hey guys, Professor Vet Shady here with another little discussion. I'm not even going to call these lessons, just playing a bit of game. Had a couple of requests, Simon from Facebook and a few other people I think. People wanted to talk about Rock of Rages, which I think is appropriately named. As you can see, this is the PS4 build, so I haven't played as much of this as I have on the Xbox, but I've platinum medaled that and I haven't even really attempted any of the other extremes on PS4 yet. The one thing I'll say about this track is that there's two parts. There's two things I've been asked for. One of them is to just try and go through this as a couple of obstacles that people are stuck on. Secondly, people are asking me to do this one with the Roach. There's a challenge here. Which one is it? Top Roach. Perform a 0 fault run with the Roach. I'm not even going to win. Actually, at the end of this, I might just attempt it for laughs. I think I can maybe get somewhere between 5 to 10 faults on it. I'm a long way off 0 fault. That is actually tough. And, you know, again, this is coming from a guy who played Inferno 4 with no bike, and I'm now understanding that Top Roach is probably a harder challenge. But anyway, let's get straight into this one now. I'm not going with the Roach to start with. Yeah, and the idea will be, I think there's one or two spots that people are stuck with, so I might just break this one down. Parts that I think people are going to have issues with, but if there's anything I've missed, by all means, just let me know, and I'll try and cover this off again. Oh god, oh, you know what's happened, I think my son got hold of my game earlier today, so he's designed this. And actually, Mini Shady, as he is known, rubbish. Mini Shady is the artistic director for this discussion class, whatever I'm calling these, and oh god, that was horrible. Alright. Yeah, he's designed this, but he's actually also going to be in the third University of Trials class. It should be coming up hopefully in Monday, I believe. So that should be cool. You'll get to see my little man. He's actually getting pretty good at trials. Alright, what I want to actually, so the first thing I want to talk about here was this obstacle. It's relatively straightforward, but the way I tend to attack it, now I transition straight from that big jump and continue through, but what I'd suggest is from a seated position here, accelerate and then just push forward. So sit down on your bike here, accelerate at 100%, and when you're about halfway up the ramp, press hard to the right. And that's about all you need to do. There's not much else here, and then hard to the right, and that'll usually carry on over. So roll back a bit, 100% acceleration, hard to the right, and that usually gets you up. This is probably one of the first ones people have trouble with. Part of the reason why it's so tough is that it has multiple parts. The first is a bunny hop to there, and the second is this long kind of drawn out thing, and you get this vertical ledge and a high jump that has to be done. If you don't really get the timing of that right, you'll be in a world of pain. There you go. So even here, I'm not doing it particularly well. Let me just try it. And then I'm over, but I don't want to hit that checkpoint. So effectively, what you want to do here: bunny hop to the first one, bunny hop to the second. The key thing is really the key thing is the landing and the momentum you maintain through that ramp there. What you'll find is if you hit this one a bit slow, or you don't quite get the bunny hop right, if you hit this one a bit slow, you're just not going to be able to carry enough momentum to go up and over, especially if your back wheel's sort of bouncing. What you need to do, bunny hop here, get your back wheel down as quickly as you can. Remember, that's where all the power is coming from. Get your back wheel down onto that ramp as quickly as you can. Keep it in contact with the ramp for the longest possible time you can, and then try and do a bunny hop off the top. It is just one of these things where I think watch the replays and see how people approach this. But the idea will be to keep your rear wheel in contact with this ramp as long as possible, get the maximum amount of speed to carry on through, and then you should be able to get yourself enough height to go over. So, you can see from here, it's such a high jump, even from where you are. If you don't get that transition right onto this jump, you won't maintain the momentum and you won't be able to make the gap. And then you're over. For this one, I tend to just go slowly through here, and then from this ledge, pretty much just accelerate and lean forward, and it usually works. Accelerate, down, and then slam your back wheel, and then just use that throttle control to get yourself over this. Now this is the next jump, which I know a lot of, this is the checkpoint before the one people have a lot of issue with. And I think the reason why they have an issue is because they don't treat this as one jump. What people will normally do here is they'll clear this jump, and then what they'll do is hop down onto the next section, or they'll fault and then have to come back to the checkpoint, which is just in front of me. Do whatever you can to avoid faulting after this checkpoint. I know this is like the hardest thing, you know, this is one of the hardest jumps on this track. When I did this for the first time, it took me, you know, 50, 100 attempts to get over this, because I stopped at the checkpoint in front of me. What I try and do is treat this all as one big section. If I can pull this off live, I think I'll be pretty happy. But the idea is to go up here, fully accelerate there, clear that jump, and do this in one fluid motion, like that. Now, okay, so I pulled it off. I made it look easy, but that is actually the way I found it to be most consistent. This is a similar thing to both of those ones beforehand, and here's the next one. I still have trouble. The reason why I don't have zero fault on this track is because of this obstacle here. Effectively, it's a bunny hop, and then a sort of a slow-ish... When you hit, it's so hard to explain. When you hit the angled portion beneath me, what you want to kind of do is accelerate at maybe 60-70-ish%. If you do it at 100%, usually do a backflip and you fault. If you do it at that sort of 60-70% space, you'll find yourself, and while you're leaning forward, you'll find yourself be able to get up and over this. I kind of did that quickly. I've already hit the checkpoint here, so I'm going to continue, but it is just one of those things you really need to practice. And this part here is just about, yeah, maintaining that rear wheel contact as best as you can. Watch that little gap, a bit of throttle control, and you're across the line. So I mean, look, that was 14 faults. That wasn't impressive, but hopefully I just gave a couple of little pointers of little tips that you can use to help you get through that track a little easier. If there's anything I missed or anything you want me to go over in a bit more detail, hit me up in the comments and I'll have another go. Thanks for watching, guys.